Hey you guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Pharmacy Tech Love. This is where you'll be learning everything that you need to know about how to be a pharmacy technician. Hey, welcome back to my channel. I'm Pharmacy Tech Love. And if this is your first time visiting my channel, make sure you subscribe and make sure you hit the bell that way you can receive all the notifications of whenever I post a new video. So today we are going to be discussing drops per minute. And I'm going to show you the easiest way that I know how. I did look up actually a couple of YouTube videos just to see how they were doing theirs and if it matched the way that I was doing mine, but it didn't. But I'm going to show you just an easy, simple formula that you can use that can get you right to the answer, because I don't believe in taking you around the moon, the sun, and then back to the earth. You know, I don't believe in doing that. So let's keep it simple. So if you're new to my channel, I mainly just talk to pharmacy technicians or future pharmacy technicians, just how to handle themselves in the workplace, or just try to teach them things they may have forgotten through the years, something like that. So if you're new here, welcome, please subscribe. Also, I've partnered with a company named Denali RX. This is just a website for, I hate to just say for pharmacy technicians, because it's not just for pharmacy technicians. It's for anyone that's going into the healthcare field. If you find yourself in a situation where you need to learn your brands and generics, your narcotics, and you need to know the class, it has flashcards, it has games. There's so many things, and you can try it for free, but it'll only let you go so far. It is $19.99 per month, and you can cancel at any time. But if you use my discount code Pharmacy Tech Love, it'll give you an extra 15% off. So with that being said, let's get into the video. Okay, so let's get into it. This is going to be how to calculate drops per, whenever you see this means per minute. It also means sometimes to divide, of course. Okay, so the drip rate, okay? This is going to determine how much volume of medication will be given to the patient in drops per minute. That's what we're trying to find out today. So I'm going to be giving you a formula in drops per minute, okay? So I want you to take note of this, okay? So if the problem does not specify a drip rate, I want you to assume that it's going to be 60 drops per milliliter. And if you ever are in a situation where there's not a 1 in front of a unit, we always have to assume that that's meaning 1, okay? So I'm going to get this erased, and I'm going to put up our first problem. Okay, so I'm going to be using ampicillin as our drug on all of these because I don't feel like creating different names, okay? So we'll just be using ampicillin on all of these. Okay, so it says, and right here is your formula, okay? In order to get drops per minute, all right? So that means you're going to reach in and you're going to pull however many milliliters are in this problem. You're going to put that over however many minutes you have. You're going to divide that, okay? You're not going to hit enter, equal. I always say enter for some reason. You're not going to hit equal on your calculator. What I want you to do is put in however many milliliters you have, divide it by however many minutes, go straight into your multiplication key and multiply that by your drop rate, and that's going to give you how many drops you have per minute, okay? So let's go ahead and try one of these. So it says ampicillin 2 grams, that's the strength of the medication. So this would be considered a concentration because you have 2 grams of medication in 100 mils. That's the concentration of the medication. Moving on, because that's not what we're talking about. So you have 2 grams of this medication in 100 milliliters, and this is going to be given over 1 hour. The IV set, okay? I know this is really like for nurses, and as a pharmacy technician, I've never had to calculate this. I've been certified since 2008. I've never had to calculate this. So just consider this as something extra, okay? So the next time I create a video, we'll be going over eardrops and eye drops. I think that'll be more of us, but still, this is something to still know, okay? If you're looking at a label wanting to know certain things. Okay, so the IV set delivers 30 drops per minute. What is the flow rate in drops per minute? Let's take a look at our formula, okay? So the first thing is, how many milliliters do we have in this problem? As you can see, we have 100 milliliters. So let's go ahead. We're doing exactly as the formula states. So we have 100 milliliters. Now we need to find out, excuse me, how many minutes are in this problem. We may not be able to go through all 10 of these because these are kind of lengthy. So let's find out how many minutes is 1 hour, okay? So there's 60 minutes in 1 hour. So now we have our minutes, and what are we multiplying? Times our drop rate. Here it is right here. It says the IV set delivers 30 drops per minute, okay? 30 drops per minute, all right? All right, so let's multiply that times 30 drops per minute. Now, this is 30 drops per minute, but what we're trying to get at is how much this patient is going to be receiving over how much? Over 60 minutes, okay? So this is 30 drops per minute. That's how much they're receiving per minute, but we're trying to get to the actual flow rate in drops per minute. So that's what we're trying to do here. All right, so now we're going to find this out. If you will put this in your calculator, 100 divided by 60 times your drops per minute. And that is going to give you 50 drops per minute. That's going to be the flow rate of this medication because the patient is receiving 100 milliliters and this is going to last for 1 hour, okay? All right, let's continue on with another one. Okay, so we have another one. This one is ampicillin. We have 500 milligrams in 50 milliliters, so that means there's 500 milligrams of ampicillin in 50 milliliters of whatever solution this is. IV over 60 minutes. What is the flow rate in drops per minute, okay? So in this one, we do not have a drop rate. We do not have a drop rate. So what we're going to do is we're going to use 60 drops per minute as our drop rate for now, okay? It just all depends on what medication it is because some medications are thicker. It just depends on what medication that is. But this is really just for nurses. Okay, so we're going to pull out our milliliters, which we can see here is 50 milliliters. How many minutes do we have? We have 60 minutes. We're going to multiply that times our drop rate, which we have set this IV to deliver 60 drops right here. 60 drops per minute. All right, and if you will, divide 50 milliliters divided by 60, go straight into your multiplication key, times 60, okay? And this is our second one. This one is going to be 50 drops per minute. Okay, that's how many drops this patient is going to be receiving per minute. All right, let's go to the next one. Okay, this is our third one. Okay, ampicillin, 500 milliliters over 6 hours. What is the flow rate in drops per minute? As you can see here, we do not have a drip rate or a drop rate. We don't have that just yet, okay? So we're going to use our formula, okay, right here. So we have 500 milliliters. That's our first one, 500 milliliters. How many minutes do we have? We need to break that 6 hours down into minutes. So how do we do that? Because each hour represents 60 minutes, and so we have 6 hours, so 60 minutes times 6 is going to be 360 minutes. Okay? So this is how long this is going to run. It's 360 minutes. Okay, and since we don't have a drop rate, we're going to use this one right here. So that's going to be times 60 drops per minute. I'm not going to write all that down because I think you guys have that now. So that's going to be 60 drops per minute. If you will, multiply that for me, please, and divide, excuse me. So I want you to put 500 in your calculator. Divide that by 360. Then go straight into your multiplication key times 60 and tell me what you got. Tell me what you got. What's going to be the flow rate of this 500 milliliters over 360 minutes going at 60 drops per minute? What is going to be that flow rate? All right, I have my answer is 83.33 drops per minute. That's a lot of drops. That's running pretty fast. Okay? But it's got to get that 500 milliliters in that patient within that 6 hours. So that's a lot of drops per minute. Okay? All right. But that's a lot of fluid. So it's got to run, even though it's not, I mean, running quick, but it's just the drops per minute, how much fluid the patient is going to be receiving in that 6 hours. And I wanted to show you guys how to check your answer, okay? But I may show you in the next one, but it's really, really easy on how to do that as well. Okay, let's go into the next problem. And you guys, I think I've been writing minutes right here, but this is milliliters. Sorry for that. Okay, so I'll try to explain that to my students in this video as well too, because what we're trying to get is the drops per minute. So this right here, let me change this. I was reading that. I'm like, why did I do that? So this is 60 drops per milliliter, meaning, and I know this is going to be a lot, meaning every time you have, I'm not the best drawer. So this is 1 milliliter, okay? Look, this is supposed to be a drop, like a teardrop. And I'm just trying to do my best here. So let me just try one more time. So this is supposed to be a drop. So there's going to be 60 drops, okay? 60 drops per 60 drops per milliliter. So there's going to be 60 of those drops in this 1 milliliter, okay? All right, so I just wanted to explain that because on the first couple of problems, I'm like, well, I was thinking to myself, why am I writing minute right here when this is milliliter, okay? So for every 30 drops, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, every 30 drops, that's 1 milliliter, okay? 1 milliliter, okay? I want to clear that up because I had saw that even in my notes, I put minutes for some reason. Okay, so now we haven't gotten too far to make the correction on that. So insulin, so we have 100 units, and we're going to put those 100 units in 500 milliliters of fluid, whatever fluid that is. It could be dextrose, it could be normal saline. We have no idea what it is, but right now all we know is that it's 500 milliliters of fluid. Now this is going to last. This is going to be administered into the patient over 2.5 hours. The IV is set to deliver 30 drops per milliliter. What was I thinking? Okay, what is the flow rate in drops per minute? And you already know how to do this. We've been working this out so far. We take our total amount of milliliters, which is 500 milliliters, right there like that, like so. And we get our minutes. Right now we have 2.5 hours. And in order to turn this into minutes, we're going to take that 2.5 hours and we're going to multiply it by 60 minutes, okay? So I have this written down already somewhere. So that's going to be 150 minutes. That's all you have to do. However many hours you have, just multiply it by 60 minutes, period, okay? All right, so now we have our total amount of minutes, so which is 150 minutes, and we're going to multiply that times our drop rate, which is 60 drops per milliliter. So we're going to put our 60 here. You do your division. I normally pause the video for my students here so they can do the math. 500 divided by 150. Go straight into your multiplication key times that's 60. Is it 60? Oh, no. We have a drop factor. We have a drop rate, Here it is right here. 30 drops. There it is. We have 30 drops per milliliter. So we're going to multiply that times 30. All right. You should come up to 100 drops per minute. 100 drops per minute. All right. Okay. Let's go into our next one. Okay, so I switched this one up just a little bit away from the ampicillin. So we have dextrose 5% in water, and we have 1.34 liters and this is going to last over 24 hours, okay? So we need this 1.34 liters to be infused into the patient over 24 hours. And the question is, what is the flow rate in drops per minute? Okay, we do not have a drop factor, so we're going to use the 60 drops per milliliters. I can't believe I put minutes on that. Okay, so now we need to take our fluid, this right here, we need to turn this into milliliters because we cannot put this 1.34 liters into this formula when the formula is requesting milliliters. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this 1.34 liters and we're going to multiply it times 1,000. The reason why we're multiplying it times 1,000 is because 1,000 milliliters equals 1 liter. Boom, just like that. Okay, so we're going to multiply that, so that's 1,340 milliliters. All right, now we have our milliliters. Let's get that out of the way. So we have 1,340 milliliters. How many minutes do we have? We need to convert this 24 hours into minutes, okay? And I've already done that. So if you will multiply your 24 hours, what are we multiplying this by? 60 minutes, that's correct. Good. All right, so what I came up with is 1,440 minutes. And what are we multiplying that by? Oh, in order to get our drops per minute, since we do not have a flow rate. We do not have a flow rate in this one. Well, we don't have a drop rate, excuse me, okay? All right, so we're gonna multiply that times 60 drops per minute, and that's going to give us our drops per minute. All right, so that's going to be 55.83 drops per minute. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Okay, got 4 more to go, 4 more to go. Okay, we're getting close. We're on number 6, so we have 4 more to go. All right, this one says, RX means that this is the prescription, okay? We have 0.9% normal saline. We have 500 milliliters of that. IV, of course, is IV, of 1.5 hours, over 1.5 hours. I'm not even going to fix that right now. What is the flow rate in drops per minute? If the drop factor is 20 drops per milliliter, so we actually have a drop rate this time, okay, or a drop factor. You can call it a drop rate or a drop factor. It's the same exact thing. So we need to go in and pull out exactly what we need. So we need to find out how many milliliters we have, which is a total volume of 500 milliliters. So how many minutes do we have here? We have 1.5 hours, so we need to take that 1.5 hours and multiply it times the 60 minutes to find out how many minutes we have. So that's going to give us 90 minutes is what I have, if my calculation is correct. Okay, so let me just get this out of the way here. And what are we multiplying this by? Because we have a drop factor. Here it is, 20 drops per mil. Good, 20 drops per mil. All righty. And I just need you to divide and multiply. Okay, divide and multiply. So we're going to divide 500 divided by 90. Go straight into your multiplication key times 20. I hate when I do that because me and my students were laughing about that because I didn't realize I was doing that. But, you know, I just try to give direction, okay? So that's what it is. Okay, so now that is going to give you 40, hold on, I'm skipping here. That is going to give you 11 drops per minute. That is going to give you 11 drops per minute. All right, let's go into number 7. Number 7. Okay, this is number 7. Number 7, we have 3 more. Okay, this one says you have ampicillin 250 milligrams in 150 milliliters over 3 hours. What is the flow rate in drops per minute? Okay, so we do not have a drop factor here. So we're going to have to assume that we're going to use 60 drops per milliliters. All right, so we're going to take our milliliters, which is 150 milliliters. We're going to put it over however many minutes we have. And we have 3 hours here, so we need to turn that into minutes. And that's going to give us 180 minutes. What are we multiplying by this since we do not have a drop rate? We're going to multiply this by 60 because we're going to use the 60 drops per milliliters as our drop rate. All right, so now let's find out how many drops per minute this patient is going to receive. So we're going to divide and multiply, and that's going to give us, unless you want to round, 49.99 drops per minute. And when I say if you want to round it just all depends on what's your multiple choices on your test. Because if it's this 49.99, then that's what you're going to choose. But if it's 52, that's incorrect. If it's 60, if it's 80, that's incorrect, okay? But if this is not an option and 50 drops per minute is, then definitely choose 50, okay? All right, let's get into number 8. All right, let's get into number 8. So we have ampicillin, 150 milligrams in 250 milliliters of fluid over 5 hours. What is the flow rate in drops per minute? Okay, so our total volume is 250 milliliters. Now we have to figure out how many minutes this is, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and write it down since I have it. This is going to be 300 minutes times our drop rate, which here we do not have a drop rate, so we're going to use 60 drops per milliliter. And that GTTS means drops. All right, so now we're going to divide and multiply, and that's going to give us 49, the same as the last, 49.99 drops per minute. Good, 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 good. All right. Okay, let's definitely go to number 9. Okay, so let's discuss this one. We're just going to go in and grab what we need. We're not even going to read any of this. We're just going to get what we need, unless you start seeing 150 milliliters here, 250 milliliters here, 300, unless it's a very long paragraph. So let's go in and grab what we need. We'll grab our milliliters, which is 150 milliliters. We'll grab our minutes, which is 60 minutes. There it is, already broken down for us. And the drop rate is, the flow rate is 30 drops per minute, which is times 30. And we're going to work that problem out, which is going to be 75 drops per minute. All right, we have one more. Okay, this one says lactated ringer. We have 1 liter over 4 hours. What is the flow rate in drops per minute if the drop factor is 30 drops per milliliter? Okay, so we know that this is fluid, okay, but we need to turn that 1 liter into milliliters, which one liter equals 1,000 milliliters. So we're going to take those 1,000 milliliters and we're going to divide by however many minutes we have, which we have 4 hours. So we need to turn that into minutes. Excuse me. So it's going to be 240 minutes. What are we multiplying that by? It did say our drop factor is 30 drops per milliliters. And we know what to do from there. That's going to give us 124.9 drops per minute. So hopefully you guys caught on to that pretty well. Let me know if you did in the comments. Let me know if you caught on to this pretty quick with using this formula. Remember, if you don't remember this formula, there's no way that you're going to know how to do this, okay? Sorry about that, you guys, my video cut out. But this is exactly how you work this problem out. 124.9 drops per minute will be your final answer. You guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video. Remember, take care of yourself, and I will see you soon.